The CDT officially is 3,100 miles long. How they got that number is that the CDT coalition, they use like the Forest Service's GIS data, which stands for Geographical Information System. It's how they map things. I don't really know what it means. Since the CDT is a officially recognized national scenic trail, the CDT coalition, they only care about the official route. Alternates are not counted in that number, that 3,100 number. All that being said, pretty much nobody hikes 3,100 miles of the CDT in a single thru hike. I've heard of people doing a thru hike in like 2,700 miles, and then they'll go back in later years and hike the rest of the official route just so they can say they hiked all of it. The most miles I've ever heard of a thru hiker doing on the CDT was around 2,800. Usually the CDT ends up being about the same length as the PCT, which is 2,650-ish. My PCT hike was actually about over, 200 miles longer than my CDT hike. On the PCT, I took a lot of alternates and fire closures that were longer than the official route, so I ended up hiking way over 2,700 miles. On the CDT, I hiked about 2,560. Great thing about the CDT, you can pretty much just piece together your own trail. If you take 10 thru hikers that have done the CDT, I pretty much guarantee you that all 10 of them hiked a different trail or they took a different path. If you're wondering how I got my miles down to less than 2,600, because when I got to New Mexico, I pretty much just took all the shortest routes possible. Didn't really hear that many good things about New Mexico, and I'm not really a fan of the desert. The official route through New Mexico is around 800 miles, and I think I only hiked around maybe a little under 500 or so. It's pretty much all roads, dirt and paved, so it's kind of boring. So here's the official CDT route. What you see here, that red line, is the 3,100 mile trail. And I'll give you a couple examples of how thru hikers make it shorter. Most thru hikers don't know that the Chief Mountain alternate on the right here actually is officially, part of the trail. It's not just a Waterton route on the left. I've heard of a super long cutoff that you can take to skip the Montana-Idaho divide here, which is really not recommended. I heard you can just go from here straight down to here to Yellowstone. That's gonna cut off all this, which is probably, I don't know, that's a lot of miles, so I definitely don't recommend taking this shortcut. Coming out of Rawlins, there's like a 10 or 15 miles you can cut off from the official route that's on the lay maps. I highly recommend that because I heard it's pretty boring. In Colorado, a lot of people, they take the creek cutoff, which cuts off all this right here. A lot of people do have to do that because they get here too late in the season or they get there too early. I got there at the right time, so I was able to do it, which was pretty great because this section right here is probably one of the most beautiful sections you'll see on the trail. Now, I mentioned that I cut off a ton of miles in New Mexico. I actually walked into Chama and then I walked out of Chama, so I skipped a lot of this. And I think that was like 30 miles shorter or something. Down here, there's another shortcut that most hikers take. Instead of doing this loop here to the left, come out of Grants, you walk a road, and you can continue walking down the road that just connects right there. There's a lot of miles you're missing right here. I heard this is a pretty dry stretch. I haven't heard of many hikers actually doing that route. Coming out of Pie Town, there's also a little shortcut. Instead of going off to the left here again, you just take this road to the right. And I don't think it's that much shorter. Now here's a big shortcut that most people do take because it's actually not bad. I had a ton of blowdowns going through the Gila River, but a lot of people like it. This route right here, I think it's called the Black Forest route or something. Don't quote me on that. Almost nobody does this, and as you can see, it's pretty long. Usually they just come here and they go through the Gila, so connect straight just like that. So over here, the official route ends at Crazy Cook, which is down there. Some people finish, like me, finish at Columbus, which is around here. I actually made up my own alternate from Silver City, and I walked a highway pretty much from Silver City 50 miles or so to Deming, which is, I don't know, around here somewhere. And then from Deming, I went to Columbus, and that's how I finished. So the route that I took was just like that. I hope that cleared it up for you a little bit. I hear this question asked a lot, and usually always get a different answer. So the official route is 3,100 miles, but I can promise you, you're not gonna hike that much in one go unless, I don't know, you just really want to. Most hikers, they'll hike around 2,700.